cool real estate. We are bound to pound the ground till all of the stars fall out of the sky. Picking sides, our stories just to unfold. Upon your high horse, my quiet musicians, so we'll find the truth told. All good things in time, if 6 isn't nine. If 6 isn't nine. Don't start that
All right, so that was 96 by Turn Breaks. This is the Daily Code Kickoff. Here with a returning special guest, Joseph. Joseph, hi Joseph. And be sure to unmute yourself, Joseph, to say hi. There is a danger that Joseph went to go take a break while the song was playing. Here we go. Hey, Joseph.
I was talking and then I didn't know I was muted.
Yeah.
Did you mute me?
Yeah, I thought I told you that. Sorry. I tend to mute just in case if someone's on during the music. Yep. Sorry about that. How's it going?
Great. I couldn't sleep, so I decided to join the Daily Code Kickoff and see what you've been up to so far. Yeah.
Sounds good. Harshdeep and Faith have been joining this week, and they say they're going to be regulars, so they might join again today, just not sure. So before you end up falling asleep on us, I do want to go ahead and switch over to ask you, what do you plan to work on? I guess maybe not the next 24, maybe not the next hour, but like the next 12 hours, 24 hours. So I'll put right here, Joseph. And
I think my first, I'm planning on to, I'm working on the landing page for website 1. So planning on, those are my plans for today. Finish that. And also pair with Robert on human connection front end. There was a ticket I was assigned to.
Okay. I mean, that's enough right there.
What?
I said that's enough right there.
Oh, yeah. I
know you're working on other secret projects that you can't really talk about, but
yeah, super secret.
Yeah. So we'll leave that there, and if you think of something else, let me know. I'll write it down. For me, this is what I was doing yesterday. I got like I don't know, I got kind of stuck, and then Faith joined, and then we switched to looking at a Rails 6 upgrade for the Wikiedu dashboard. But anyway, this is looking forward. For me right now, I kind of wanted to, during this session, to recap what Matt and I worked through for like a 3.5 hour session earlier of setting up a free forever virtual machine on GCP, which is Google Cloud Platform. And so he was wanting to, it's kind of a process, and if you don't do it right, you'll get charged essentially, even though they do give you $300 credit for the first year. And they won't bill you without your permission. But it is easy to try to set up a free forever tier VM and not get it right. And so since we just walked through it right now, a couple hours ago, I'm not going to walk through the whole process, but I thought I might just show the configuration part, which is the trickiest part. And with your permission, Joseph, we might do that, especially since you're going to do some DevOps GCP work for us for Championer 1. And actually, is it for Championer 1 or Sync for Needs? I already forgot. It's for Sync for Needs, right?
Yeah, it's Sync for Needs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. So we could do that. Was there anything else that you wanted to like discuss or deal with or jump into some code?
Discuss, no. Maybe jump into some code, but my eyes starting to get heavy right now, so
okay. Yeah, see, I don't know if I should then like force you to like code something so that you can stay awake, or for me to take over and just do everything, but then you might get like a little bored or something, and I'll be talking.
No, when you actually take over and do everything, then that's good, because I don't have to think a lot.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Okay. But there's always a danger with everybody, not just you, that if you're watching something boring or like really hard to understand, like really hard science or something, or mathematics, that especially if you're tired, it'll accelerate how tired you feel and how sleepy you feel, and your brain will be like, yeah, I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah, I get.
So I will jump over to share my screen on the GCP stuff, and I just realized that I'm signed in on Epic, the Epic browser, so if I could show you guys through here, because I'm sharing my screen. Down here, I have Epic, and I realized that I don't have it as one of my scenes here to switch to. But I guess I could show you like this, right? So this is GCP here. But I think I'd still rather create a scene real quickly. And I guess for people who might like Twitch to Twitch stream, this might be good to watch. The only problem is that the screen will go blank for a second. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to create a new scene. There'll be a pop-up. Oh, and you know what? Since I have it locked on the Chrome, Google Chrome, you'll be able to actually see this pop up, which I've showed before. But sometimes people can't. But if I'm locked into OBS, they can't actually see the pop up. So right now I'm going to call this just Epic. And
quick question.
Yep.
Our YouTube fans, are they able to stream from YouTube or?
You mean to watch our stream from YouTube?
Yeah. Or because I don't think we're live. I can't see the live.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about right now on Google Chrome, and I haven't started the broadcast. Correct? That's what you're referring to. Because when we do that, it also streams to YouTube. I have not been doing that. I've just been using it as a sort of a hack to do this new thing, which is to pair program or mob or group program during the Daily Code Kickoff through Twitch. If you stream on Twitch, you're just streaming, yourself here. Like you have to use a provider like OBS, and it's just one person, right? It's one person like coding or whatever, or playing games. And for us, like I'm using technically it's YouTube to spin up a Hangout, and I'm just using it so that we can interact. I'm not actually streaming, so people are hearing you through the Hangout, but I'm not streaming to YouTube. Does that make sense?
Okay.
It's a little complicated, but yeah, I don't need to actually start the broadcast, because I'm doing that all through OBS, streaming to Twitch. Yeah. So hopefully that answers your question. The screen is going to go blank for a second because I do have to select Epic to add a source here, and then actually pick it from the list of things that I have open. So I have I have all this stuff open here, and Epic is this one here, and so it'll show me a list of everything that I have open. When I click, I'm going to create this window, capture Epic. So unfortunately you won't be able to see it, and actually Joseph will be able to see it, but the Twitch streamers won't. So let me do that quickly. Can you tell a joke in the meantime, Joseph? No.
No. Oh.
Can you start to tell a joke, and then you don't have to create the punchline?
Come on, brain.
Okay, you got saved
I
there.
usually have a lot of jokes, but yeah, I'm too sleepy.
Okay. You killed enough time there for me to make the screen come back. So now I'm sharing Epic over here where I had GCP running. And so what I'm going to show is over here. First of all, I'll share this right here. This is the URL that you would go to, cloud.google.com/free. And we're going to set up, don't confuse it with Google App Engine. We're going to set up Google Compute Engine, which will give us like the ability to set up like a virtual machine as opposed to like a preloaded platform. So we're not going to do that. Yeah. So anyway, I'll click on.
So
yeah. Go ahead.
Someone in the chat is asking, why do we need GCP and what exactly is GCP?
Oh, in what chat are they asking that? Oh yeah. Okay, I see that. No, I don't see that. So what is GCP and why are we using it? So for that person that is asking in the chat, GCP is Google Cloud Platform. It's kind of like Azure or like AWS, Amazon Web Services. It is a cloud platform, and we are using it because they're pretty much the only ones that allow you to create your own VM virtual machine for free. Now, you can configure it to where it's not free. So the whole point of me doing this here is to show you how to do it so that it is free. Sound good?
Yeah. They typed gotcha. Yeah. So I think they understood.
Yeah, thanks for checking the chat for me, Joseph.
Yeah,
awesome. So you would go to try it free. I'm already all set up. I guess I'll just click on it just to see what happens. But I'm already like even signed in and everything. We did this, like Matt and I, for a premium face-to-face session for our premium F2F members. So yeah, it's just redirecting me to it's going to take me to the billing, so I'll actually close that to not show that because it'll reveal like my credit card information and stuff. I'll just go back over here where it's essentially the same thing, and after you've like set up through your email, or you create a new email, it's a Google account, you do have to put in like a payment method. But if you have a payment method associated with your Google account, like if you use Google Wallet, or you pay for YouTube.tv, something like that, you might not have to do that because there's already a payment method. But once you put in your payment method, you'll be led to like here, I think. Let me click on that. And no, not there, but let's see. Okay, home. So let me click on home. And I guess this is home. Yeah, okay. So we already have a project, that's why it's showing it a little different. But it'll give you like a My First Project. Let me see if it's still in there. Yeah, right there. My First Project. And I'll just create a new project. So when you go there, you'll see something similar like this, and just click here to create a new project. Go up here to new project. We'll call this Daily Code Kickoff. So let's say we had a repo, a project called Daily Code Kickoff. yeah, we might just call it like site, to be a little more clear. We'll create that. Let me copy this first. And so that's creating that. It'll take a second here. It'll show me once it's done up here. You got more jokes, seriously?
Okay. I have a joke.
Really?
Okay.
You thought of it?
Yeah. So.
Oh wait, we don't need it. We don't need it. So save it for. Save it for. We are gonna need it once we create the VM. That'll take like a minute or two. So. So I'm just gonna show you. So save that joke if you don't mind. If it's not too rude of me to ask you to save it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will.
It went a lot faster than I thought. So I'm gonna head over here to the menu. Then I'm gonna go down to all the way down to Compute Engine. And I'm just gonna click on Compute Engine. But it's the same as going all the way up here to VM Instances. But I'm just going to click on it like here. And that'll take me to where I can actually create the virtual machine. So I'll click on Create. And I'm going to name the virtual machine exactly the same so that I know that it's part of this project as well, so it's the same name as the project. If you look at the price over here, right now it's saying that it's going to charge me $24.67 a month based on this configuration here. So the most important thing to do is to switch the machine type to a micro, so an F1 micro. And once I do that, you'll see that it went down to 428. And yeah, so with this, it has 0.6 gigabyte of memory. And this is similar to what DigitalOcean would give you for their $5, their base version. I think with them, you get a little more, closer to a gigabyte. But overall it's a similar, and it's a similar rate too. So the only misstep that you want to avoid here is to not pick US Northern Virginia. I'm not sure why, but they tell you not to. So do not pick this one here, US East 4, because otherwise you'll get charged. So I'll just go with, usually you want to pick one that's closest to you or closest to where your users will be. So I'm going to click the one in Iowa since I'm in Kansas. The zones really don't matter, but you might want to switch away from the default I'll just go with B. And then here, the disk, I'm going to modify it. That can stay unchecked right there. I'm going to change it. The most important thing about this is that I want to have more storage. By default, it says 10. I want to change that to 30. Change that to 30 because that's the maximum I can get for free. If I went with 40 or something, then it would start charging me. This, you want to leave it at standard persistent disk as opposed to SSD. SSD would be faster, but then it wouldn't be free. And then here, I could stick with this Debian. I think I'll just leave it there for now, but you might want to go with Ubuntu 16.04. Earlier, Matt made one with, he made this container optimized one. So yeah, so you have some choices there. Maybe you have a preference there. Maybe you prefer CentOS, So I'm just going to leave it on the default one. I'm going to click select. And you should see that price went up a little bit to 508. That's where you want to remain around. If you see that go up, then it means it's not going to be free. I gotta chase this song. I thought we got rid of this song here. I keep playing it. This is a song that Nick added through Slack. If I show you, sorry. I mean, just listen to it. It's such an awesome song, right?
Okay, I always remember. Yes, I will. 'Cause that was the day that my daddy died. I never heard good things about him. Always heard bad people talking about him. Mama, I'm depending on you. So tell me the truth.
So,
Your papa was a rolling boat. Wherever he laid his back.
let me show you how this song got added. So we have Spotify connected to this channel here, Jukebox, and Faith added this song by just doing /add Faith, and it added this song here. So Nick added this. He was like, I wonder if it'll work with my name, and he did that, and it added this. Papa was a Rolling Bones by Dr. John the Love Prophets. I don't know. I think it's such a great song that usually when I play it, I just want to skip to the end. The end is so good. I just realized it's like a 9-minute song essentially. That was really good, right, Joseph? You still with me?
Yep, I'm here.
What did you think of the song? Hey, Nick didn't really pick it. He was just testing out. So it's okay if it's okay to say you don't like the song. I'm just being sarcastic. I don't really like the song.
Yeah.
You might offend Dr. Jaw though if you say something bad.
Yeah, and also Nick too, but anyway.
Okay.
Let me just say it's not bad.
It's not bad. Hey, that's very, very nice of you to say. So, yeah, I had to do something about the song because it's 9 minutes and it's not bad. So anyway, getting back to Epic, almost done here. I did want to show one thing that even though it does say 508 here, you can go here and accidentally pick Northern Virginia. And, so it went up a little bit, but because it went up a little bit, doesn't mean it's still free. So just because the price remains around $5, doesn't mean that it's going to be free. So you do want to be sure not to be in Northern Virginia. I'll switch it back here. And yeah, so we're going with Debian Linux 9, 30 gigabytes. Gonna click on allow full access to all cloud APIs. Gonna, for the firewall, allow HTTPS. And I'm gonna open up this drop-down menu and click on enable deletion protection. And that's just so that you won't delete it by accident. You'll have actually, what we found out is the way that you would have to delete it is to actually edit your VM configuration, and then unclick this, and then try to delete it. So anyway, I'll leave that on, and that's about it. All of this here can stay by default, security, all this. You don't have to modify anything. And so you do have a couple choices here. You can use this command line here from if you have gcloud set up. Gcloud is kind of like the Heroku command if you have the Heroku tool belt locally, or like Doku, or the AWS one. I forget what it's called, the command line interface. Anyway, we're not going to do that though. You could also use this REST one we were looking at. Matt found, like, I hadn't even ever noticed it, that you can make a post request. So here, and this by the way is the configuration based on everything that I just selected. So this would be another way to do it, but we're not gonna do that. We'll just keep it simple. And let me just double check. I always like to double check everything. That looks good. Yeah, we'll stick with C and make sure that's micro, and yeah, and 30 gigabytes. That looks good. That looks good. And so we'll just create it. So now, Joseph, now, do you have a joke to tell us? Because this will take like 2 minutes.
Okay. It's more of a question.
Okay.
What do you call a deer with one eye?
Deer with one eye.
Yeah.
A deer with one eye. With one eye. So is there another word for deer? Maybe this has to do with the letter I. I mean, you could say like.
I have.
Huh?
I have no idea. I have no idea to the question that you're asking.
Okay. Well, we're out of time here because it's already ready to go. That was fast. What is? I don't know, Joseph. What do you call a deer with one eye?
No idea.
I get it. You have no idea.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good one. Yeah, it's funny. Thank you, Joseph. Yeah, that killed a little bit of time. And it was pretty funny. So now the last couple of things I want to do is this external IP here will show us what we have running. So this is like what I did before. Did a simple hello world. This is the IP address of the previous box. And it's actually, yeah, it was a real Python server. It's showing me that right there for some reason. But excuse me. Once I stop this box, like once I run it and I stop it and I rerun it, this is dynamic. So it will change every time I restart the box. So if it goes down, if it crashes and we have to restart it, this would change. And then if we have like our domain name pointing to this IP, then it'll just sort of be disconnected. So what we want to do is create a static IP address. And the way you do that is you go over here to the menu. And it's not obvious where it is. You have to go down to, it's called VPC network. Go to external IP addresses. And then
someone in the chat is asking, like, also, are you going to lose your data, like the DB? Will the database get dropped also, or the data will be safe?
Yeah. Did they say anything about? Are they referring to when the box crashes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So so just explain it to the person in the chat. what that means is no, you would not lose the data. It would just be disconnected. It would regenerate a new static IP, not a new dynamic IP address. It'd be, I don't know, 38 or something, and you would not lose it. It would just be pointing to a different IP address. Yeah, so hopefully that's clear for our viewer. Just to show you how to fix that, how to avoid all that, is you see how here, once I went to external IP addresses, so I went to VPC network, external IP addresses. Here is our box that we just created, and for some reason it's not showing the name. Oh, it's because it's not connected to anything. So this is so what I'm gonna do here is just right click here where it says type and switch it to static. And I'm gonna call it, let's see if I still have that. Yeah, daily code kickoff. I'm gonna call it exactly the same. And I think what ended up happening is, for some reason, when I created the VM, yeah, that's what it was. When I actually created the VM, I didn't switch to the new project. So I didn't switch to this project here, which I should have done. So it's still doing it off of this real Python server project that I created earlier. That's why right here it has this little dash saying that it's part of this here too project. So that's all you need to do there. It says it's good to go. And then now if I go back to my VMs, so I just go to the menu, go to, oh, I think I skipped it, Compute Engine. It'll show me I think it'll be a different IP address. And I went to the wrong one by accident. We don't want the app engine. You gotta be careful not to go to the app engine. We want the compute engine, because that's where the free tier is. The free forever tier. And yeah, there we go. And here it is. So I could go to this, right? I could click on this. This one's new, but we don't have anything running on it. And so something that we'll also see is that we need to switch from HTTPS to HTTP to be able to see it. And even so, we got nothing running, right? So let's fix that quickly by going here. If we click on SSH, it's the same as opening in the browser window a console into our VM. So I'll just click on it like that. And just to save me a couple of steps, I'm going to go to this tutorial, which kind of walks through everything that I kind of just did here. So if you go up here to the 3-dot settings and utilities, right next to the notifications, go down to try an interactive tutorial. Oh, and I forgot, I probably won't be able to see it, so I'll just copy the command. Actually, so for some reason it's not showing up on Epic. But either way, you would go to try compute engine, and it would show you a tutorial walking through similar steps to what I just did. Oh look, it's actually working now, so that's good. So I'm gonna skip to that. You would actually click on create a project here and do this thing that I already did before. So I'll just cancel that for now. And yeah, so I'll just, if you create a new project, it'll be right here. You'll click confirm project. Then here it's telling you that part that I was talking about, where you go to the compute engine, click on next. You'll click the create instance. It's not showing up right now. Oh, actually, yeah, you could do it right there. I just realized. You'll select the name, the zone. That's this and this. You can allow HTTP, but I recommend you also allow HTTPS. We did that already. You'll click create. Then here it's showing how once you're done, that's your list of VMs. In order to start or stop your box, you can do that here. Moving on, this part here, I wanted to copy this part here. So I clicked on the SSH button. We got this open over here. If you notice, it's doing this based on the VM. This is the name of the VM. And this is the actual Gmail user that I have. So I just created a user for me right there. And then I'm gonna just do this simple thing here. I'm gonna create a simple Python browser. So I'm just creating an index file with that simple line right there. I guess I could have changed it, but let's just leave it with that. And then I'll run a Python server. Oops. And actually thinking about it, the people on Twitch probably can't see what I just did right here. So let me double check. Yeah, so they're seeing me copy the commands, but they're not seeing the actual window. So I'll just, instead of setting it up through the scenes on OBS, I'll just show it through Chrome. And so right there you can see my full screen there. And I'm showing this over here. Joseph, can you see that?
Yeah.
Because if you can see it right now, that means they can see it. So I'm just gonna make that bigger. I just ran that command right there. I was saying earlier how this is the name of the VM, and this is the name of the Gmail. It just sort of sets it up automatically. So I created this index file right here in the home folder. That's signified by the home folder. With this very simple HTML. This is I'm running sudo python command to create this server that you can run with Python on port 80. So I'll click enter, and we have a server running on Python. This is just like, as soon as I close this window, this will go down. So it's not like Nginx or anything, or Apache. So I will go back to where I was over here, and I'll just re-click on this again. And so notice that, so it's taking a while, yeah. So notice that it didn't load anything. So you want to go up here and remove the S. And hopefully it'll work. Yeah, there it is. Hello world. So let me just double check that. Yeah, it looks like everyone was able to see that. Yeah, and then there you go. So that is how you set up a VM. I'll just show you how to delete it, because we don't really want to keep this exact one, because it's just for demonstration purposes. They're saying to remove it, select the checkbox and click the delete button. This is the thing that was a little, so it's not seeing it, because, let me close this. It's still not showing up, I think. There it is. Yeah, so let's see, yeah, so that is disabled. So for some reason, when I ran it through the cloud, the G Cloud G-Cloud and Cloud Shell earlier in our session, it didn't enable the delete protection. So this is what I was saying, that you might accidentally check mark it and delete it. So the way we figured out to not to if you really want to delete something. So first of all, let me close this. Let me close this. You can see my get request right there. So I'm just gonna close it, and you'll see that it stopped working. So I think it was here. I'll try to reload it, and yeah, it's not working anymore. And so if I want to delete this, I'll just go over here to no, so that's not it. I go to, I guess I have to stop it first. And give that a second. The thing about it is, okay, yeah, just give that. Do you have another joke, Joseph?
Okay. So, yeah. So this will make sense if you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, this will make sense if you use prepaid on your mobile phone. Yesterday I was walking, and while I was walking, I was talking through my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And then I fell down, and then I checked why my phone balance, and I didn't have any balance, so that's why I fell down, because I had no balance.
Yeah. So like, oh yeah, that's good. That's perfect timing. So I stopped. I was gonna say, like, I would say, why do you think? So a way to reframe it, I would say, like, you would say, why do you think I fell down? It's like, oh, because I checked my prepaid account and it had no balance. It told me I don't have any. Yeah, I don't. Even I kind of fumbled it there. So anyway, thank you. That killed enough time, Joseph. Now, if I go to, actually, it's not showing for me. So let's see. This is the VM here. So I'm not sure I'm gonna figure out how to do this. I think if I just click on it, I'll be able to do it. Yeah, because it was actually Matt who he found like an edit button. But I think this will do essentially the same thing. Yeah, and so I'll just go up here to edit. And go down to enable deletion protection. I'll unclick that and resave it. And then I will go back. I guess I could have done it there, maybe. Maybe not. And I'll check mark it. Now this is available, so now I can click delete, like it's shown right here. I think it'll tell me, are you sure? Click on that, and then we'll be done. That'll be done. So that won't be charging anything, and it wouldn't charge anything is the whole point. It would have been free. And then so since I don't have anything, it's showing me. I think just to show like what I should have done before is, so I gone here, and I think I should have associated it with that Daily Code Kickoff site. I guess maybe I need to go like back and then go here. And like click on it like this. And then making sure that I'm on my new project here, then it's where I would click create. Yeah, this step here might take a minute, but anyway, I would end up going through all the steps that I just went through. So I just sort of skipped this before. But other than that, that is how you do it. And that's how you delete it too. And we got it done in a whole session instead of like 3.5 hours that it took us earlier today. So that's good. Any final thoughts, Joseph, before we wrap up?
No questions, but yeah, I think the feature that GitHub has is more efficient for protecting, I think, in my personal preference. When you decide to create a project, you must type in the name of the project, and then yeah. So I thought they would ask you like enter the name, but no, when you just click delete, it's done. Yeah, so I think you'll need to protect the instances.
Yeah, so if you do everything that we just did, then it would protect them, and then you would have to go in there and to edit them, and so that you can delete them. So it's a few extra steps, but it might be good to protect. I think so. Yeah. So want to thank Joseph for joining me here for the session here. Especially want to thank you for the jokes. Pretty good jokes. Help us kill a little bit of time. And anything else, Joseph?
Nope, except for our viewers. Maybe good to know. Something good they should know about is that when there is a lot of clouds, Google Cloud GCP is actually cheaper. So when there is clouds, yeah.
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 So when it's a clear sunny day, it's way expensive. Yeah, that they should know.
Yeah, that's good for you to make that clear to them. Thank you, Jesse. Yeah, that's really awesome that we got it done and you joined me. And so on that note, I want to say thank you, Joseph. Thanks to all the viewers, all the people watching the recording. See you guys next time. Thanks, Joseph.
Adios.
Adios. All right.
And I feel it running through my veins, and I need that fire just to know that I'm awake. We raise darkness till the break of day, and I need that fire just to know that I'm awake. Until we go down. until we go down. Until we go down. Until we go down. And I feel it running through my veins. And I need that fire just to know that I'm awake. Erase darkness till the break of day. And I need that fire just to know, 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 until we go down. Until we go down. Until we go down. Until we go down. And I feel it running through my veins. And I need that fire just to know that I'm awake.